more episodes because I already owned them, and I wish I recorded it then. But anyways, we're gonna watch a little bit of that. Ghost in the Shell Cinema Complex second gig was on there. God, Paranoia Agent began airing that year, and that's actually currently on Toonami now on Saturday nights. Samurai Champloo, another big series that if you like Cowboy Bebop, that was kind of up your alley. I did like Champloo, but it doesn't hit me like Bebop does. Not even close. Another show that I wish there was some more episodes out there. There's very little that I've been able to find of S. Tried. Had a part of recording on one of my tapes. So they did a month of, I think they did some movies at one point. They had the Metropolis film that was on there, Cowboy Bebop the movie. Escaflowne the movie was on there, and there is a guy that I know that has recording of that. And Fullmetal Alchemist Conqueror Shambhala was on TV as well. So we're going to play the clips now.
Kyo was just an ordinary genius.
XY squared to the 6th.
That's correct. Till his father sent him a mysterious birthday present. Now this little boy, Sash, might be just the friend Kyo needs. If all the Mamotos don't destroy them both.
I knew this was a bad idea!
Satch Bell premieres Saturday, March 5th at 9:30. Open up and say only Toonami. Monkey D. Luffy wants to become king of the pirates. The only problem? He can't swim. But he's gathered a crew. And together, they'll seek the legendary treasure of Gold Roger. Things are gonna get a little strange along the way.
Who is that rubber boy?
One Piece premieres Saturday, April 23rd from 10 to 11 p.m. Don't let the straw hat fool you. Only Toonami. Ninjutsu, the art of stealth and perseverance. To follow this path, one must be strong in mind, body, and spirit. Ready? But the way is treacherous. Some will succeed, some will fail. But only one will rule the school. Naruto, 1 hour premiere Saturday, September 10th at 9. No guts, no glory. Only Toonami.
Samurai Champloo.
Fine then. Let's get started. Mugen is the name, pal. You got that? My name is Gene.
Wait, what?
You should remember it.
Pull your swords out.
Oh, please, do it for me.
That sure was amazing.
Yes. Mess with us and you're a dead man.
I can handle you. Gene and Fu.
Samurai Champloo.
Playtime's over. Put your hands behind your head.
I have no fear of death. It just means breathing in silence.
You're an original, aren't you?
All right, we're gonna see that what kind of censorship they did in Evangelion. They did have to censor out some like harsher language.
Would you like to explain all of this to us?
Yeah, see, Pin
Jeez,
Pin's back.
Shinji, you should have told us about that part first.
So how are their coordination drills coming along, Miss Misako?
Not very well, as you can see.
Well, so much for synchronization. I can never sink down to the pathetic level this animated turnip lives at. If you ask me, the whole idea is impossible.
Then you're giving up.
But you don't have anyone else, do you?
Yeah, Tiffany Grant's a really cool voice actress if you ever get to meet her in person. She's very personal, loves to talk to everybody, and she's cool as crap. All right, so 2006, we got a series called Battle Beta Man. That's one of the shows that I came across that I didn't even know was on this network. Itoden Jump is another series about BMX bikes. I think that was one of those shows that aired like Sunday morning at 6 a.m. or something ridiculous. So we got Yu-Gi-Oh! GX that started airing. Mar, Mar was like Brave Master, I think. I could be wrong, so I don't want to offend you guys if you know that. Another dot hack series came out, Roots. That was probably on the Friday night death slot, I guess. I never saw it. Prince of Tennis was on there. They actually aired a few episodes of Prince of Tennis on Toonami, and they aired it out of order on the episode count. I remember watching with some people in a chat room at the time, and they're kind of pointing that out. So I saw a little bit on TV. You got Pokemon Chronicles that started airing. DBZ films like Fusion Reborn and Wrath of the Dragon were on there. There was also a month of Miyazaki on Toonami, which they aired Spirited Away, Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, and Nausicaa. We've also got some other films like Zatchville, Friends Getting Stronger, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, and Adventures in Naruto. For the Adult Swim block, we've got Bleach that finally came out because everyone was talking about that show, and eventually it did hit on TV. Eureka 7 is another one that I've always heard really good things about. I haven't watched it yet. Shin-Chan, I do like Shin-Chan. That is a crazy show. Trinity Blood, I got into it a few episodes and I just couldn't keep up with it. And then, of course, there's a few other Inuyasha films like Fire on the Mystic Island and Sword of an Honorable Ruler. So we will go ahead and continue onward.
He is the big head boy, Shin-Chan, very famous in the world for his popular TV program, Shin-Chan, Sausage Eater. Many are loving him, also adults, includes ladies and gentlemen. Shin-Chan, for watching Monday into Thursday, 12:30 Adult Swim TV.
My name is Ichigo Kurosaki. I'm 15 years old. For as long as I can remember, I've been able to see the souls of the dearly departed.
I'm a soul reaper. My name is Rukia. The Hollows were once souls of living beings, no different from anyone else.
Time to eat your soul!
We stand in awe before that which cannot be seen.
Beat a battle!
The world's greatest Beatman fighter wants the world's greatest prize, total glory.
If you think I'm gonna give up, you're wrong!
Get ready to load up.
I have to counterattack! But first...
In the all-new Battle Beatman, Monday to Thursday, 5:30 p.m. on Cartoon Network.
This is interesting. I couldn't really find any Cartoon Network recordings of Itoden Jump, but someone got like a test footage of this and put it online. So we'll go ahead and play some clips out of this.
Flame Kaiser!
I couldn't even find a promo for this either online.
My boys had them just one dream. They dreamed of becoming the greatest MTV writers in the world. They was always practicing, hoping one day they'd be good enough to get to X-City. Then one day, they done got a message. An invitation from the leader of Team Shark Tooth himself. This was it. Their big chance to make it had done arrived at last.
This is it. Our big chance to make it has arrived at last. All right, this is it. Time to go make our dream come true. Enough! I think we get the whole dream motif already.
Okay. Shh. But their wonderful dreams soon turned to a nightmare of deception and betrayal.
Oh my, I didn't see that one coming.
Okay.
Okay, you two, these are the rules around here. The rules are, there are no rules. If you win, I'll give you anything you want, just name it. But if my team wins, you guys are working for me, got it?
Got it. Well, this is it, Ryu. Our chance, our one and only chance. Our chance to make our dreams come true. Oi!
They couldn't afford shoes. They couldn't afford helmets. They couldn't afford animation. But still, they were leading that there race when suddenly...
Oh, the pain. Help me, please.
That rider's in trouble. Go, the race! Here, grab my hand.
You have fallen for my sinister trap. Now take this!
Brother! Is your leg broken? No, my dream is...
Yeah, I wish I could find more of that online. That is a Totten jump, or however they said in the promo. But anyways, so we're into... This is the part where I had to like sort of condense my panel down because I felt like I was getting close or running out of time. So I didn't really do a lot of promos, but kind of going through this list. So between 07 and 08 is when anime kind of started dying off on Cartoon Network. The action block is not looking good on Adult Swim, and everything was becoming toyetic. Toonami was basically dead at this point. So we had, it was getting pretty close. So we had like Mega Man Star Force that started airing. Bakugan, Battle Brawlers was a Bakugan series every freaking year. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D started airing. Blue Dragon was on Toonami. I never got a chance to see that. Blood Plus was on the action block. And then Death Note was another major series that people are huge fans of that show that I, again, have yet to see. Well, no, I've seen a little bit of Death Note. It's Code Geass I haven't really seen much. I haven't even finished Death Note either. So, yeah, what kind of anime fan am I? And also Moribito was on the action block as well. I didn't really get to watch anything of Moribito. But anyway, so we'll go ahead and move on here to the next year. Because I don't think I've got any... No, I don't have any promos. So then from 2009 to 11, it was just like sort of a desert. They aired some movies here and there. So you had like another Bakugan series. A couple more actually each year. Was New Vestroya, Gundalian Invaders, and Mectanium Surge. Oh man, we got to get some Beyblade in there, like Metal Fusion and Metal Masters. Kakaishi was another series on the action block that started airing. Same with Durara, and I think I got a couple episodes of that recorded. I didn't keep up with it though. That was like in 2011 when I was getting Durara, a little bit of it. And then Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood was another show that they picked up. So that started airing. Then of course they had a couple Bleach films like the Diamond Dust Rebellion and Memories of Nobody. So yeah, at this point Toonami was long and dead. I think it was in 2007 or 2008. So things were kind of looking sort of grim for a little bit. But then we get into 2012. And it was interesting because we started getting anime back. And Toonami came back. And it was actually an interesting way how they came back. So on April Fools, they decided to just kind of air whatever. So they had like, later episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo, one of the episodes of the OVA that never was ever on the original Toonami slot. And they had Blue Sub 6, was just the first episode. They continued Bleach as normal, which is episode 247. And then they started picking up Toonami again, and that's when they started coming out with Kashurn Sins, Dead Man Wonderland, Samurai 7, and Tenchi Muyo GXP, the last Tenchi series they put on Toonami. and that has pretty much killed any desire for Jason DeMarco to ever bring back Tenchi on TV. And I think that's kind of a sad thing, really. So anyways, I'll show you exactly how they brought back Toonami, because they kicked up the hornet's nest of fans, and they're like, we want it back, and this is how they did it.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa!
Oh, hi, Adult Swim. I got the results of the test back. I definitely have April Fools.
Yep, that's how they kicked off April Fools of 2012. Then a month later, we got Toonami. And we've kept it since.
Uploading video for broadcast. Alright, Tom, we're ready.
I love this job.
So, 2013 was actually looking pretty good. We got a few movies on the Toonami block late at night, which they had Akira air for the very first time on Cartoon Network. The only station that aired Akira that I was aware of, the Sci-Fi Channel back in the 90s. They did a December Movies Month, and so it was that with Akira, Summer Wars, Trigun, Badlands Rumble, and Fullmetal Alchemist Conqueror Shambhala. The Evangelion movies came out between March. The first one was in March of that year, and then the second one came out in August. I just went through my tape on that. In terms of series, we have Beyblade, Shogun Steel, Tenkai Nights. Was another show that they aired on Sunday mornings, I believe. We've got One Piece. One Piece came back, but they decided to listen to the fans, and the fans demanded that they continue off where they didn't see the rest of the episodes. The last time it was on Toonami, which was like in the 200s. So they went like, okay, fine, we'll air it from episode 207 until however long. So for 4 years we had One Piece, about maybe 3 years or so, and then went through about a couple hundred episodes. And I watched every bit of it. It was Water 7 and Thriller Bark and the Foxy Pirates arc. What I saw, I really liked. So not only that, we had Soul Eater that was on there, Sword Art Online. I recorded the first 2 seasons of that. And then Keckhart was a small small film that they aired after the second Evangelion film, but they later aired it again. I think it was around Halloween. And I was able to record it then. So we'll go ahead and watch a couple of these promos here.
boy who was in an accident on an old city highway is brought to the lab. It seems that he's their new subject for human experimentation.
You must take a look at this data. It's phenomenal.
Is it safe, Doctor?
What did you people do? The time of atonement is upon us! Are your hearts prepared? The time is nigh! He's developed so much power in such a short time, it's unbelievable.
Keep away! Is that what Tetsuo's doing? Are you saying he has that kind of energy?
The thing about Akira's power is, it exists within everyone from the start. But when that power is awakened inside, it is important to wisely choose how to use it. Your friend has already made his choice.
Toonami is proud to present one of the greatest animated films of all time, fully restored.
Stop this, Tetsuo! Stop it now!
The landmark classic, Akira. next Saturday night at midnight. Neo Tokyo is about to explode. Part of a month of movies.
Maybe we weren't meant to meddle with that ultimate power.
You mean the power of a god? Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
There are some things we must never forget.
Bon voyage, Ava Unit 5.
I don't ever want to pilot an Ava again.
How can you still be so hard on yourself when you just saved humanity?
Target sighted, entering Earth's orbit. I've got a visual.
The readings are off the chart!
Just as we feared.
What's its point of impact? Let me guess. It's heading here.
A state of emergency has been officially declared. It's more powerful than we could have imagined.
If it scores a direct hit, the results would be catastrophic.
Battle stations, ready Unit 1.
What the hell are you doing, Dad?
It's time for you to grow up, Shinji.
Target inbound. Bracing for hostile engagement.
I need all three of you to make this miracle happen.
What's the chance of success?
Activate! Wait, don't do it! No! Pilot is in severe danger! Just leave it to me! No, you! Shinji, please stop! You won't be able to come back!
Neon Genesis Evangelion 2.22. You cannot advance. Next Saturday at midnight.
I promise I'll take you, Ray, even if it's the last thing I do!
Only Toonami on Adult Swim.
All right. So, anime just kept coming out for Toonami. A lot of good stuff started coming out. So we had Beyboy. Well, we had to get to the toyetic stuff first, like Bay Warriors. So DBZ Kai started airing. That took a couple years to get through. So they started to run Naruto Shippuden, which I think is still ongoing to this day. Space Dandy was a series that they aired out here in America first at the beginning of 2014, and then Japan started getting it like I think like the day of or something like that. But we were like, hey, we have first airing rights here in America for Toonami. So that was a big thing. Space Dandy is a great show. Attack on Titan, they finally were able to get that dubbed and on TV. Black Lagoon was a series that could have aired on Adult Swim like a decade ago, but I'm glad it finally came out. I enjoyed Black Lagoon immensely. That was a good show. Blue Exorcist was another series. Gurren Lagann, they put it on Toonami finally. The last place that it aired was on Sci-Fi Channel, actually on Anime Monday, and I think it was 2008, I want to say. That sounds about right. Anyways, and then we got Hellsing Ultimate, the OVA series. I was able to record that. So in the course, they decided to air some movies. We got the DBZ Broly movie, Inuyasha Final Act, and Full Metal Alchemist, Sacred Star of Milos. I don't think there's any other promos I have to show you guys. I'm just kind of plowing through this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just kind of going through a list of stuff here. So 15 to 17, we had Akame ga Kill. Another Kill series was Kill la Kill. That was another immensely popular show that a lot of people talked about. Michiko and Hatchin was a series from the mid-2000s. That was actually a really good show. Parasite the Maximum started airing. That is also an incredibly good show, too. Interesting enough, that manga was put out by Tokyo Pop in the, I think in the late 90s or early 2000s, because I remember seeing ads for that. Sword Art Online 2 started airing. We got Dimension W. It's about a guy with a gas car and everything's electric. I don't remember much of that show. It was not good. Hunter x Hunter started airing. I watched every single episode of Hunter x Hunter. I did enjoy that series a lot. One Punch Man, that was good stuff. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has been airing pretty much consistently. They're on Arc 5 now, and I think they're pretty close to finishing it up. I have recorded the first 4, and the 5th one is all being recorded on my DVR, and I have yet to get around to ripping it on my computer. Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, they brought back Gundam finally after a number of years. Not only that, they decided to make a televised version of the Gundam Unicorn OVAs into RE0096. It's still good. Then they finally were able to bring in Dragon Ball Super, which was the last thing I really kept up with on Toonami. I was able to record all that, nearly every episode of Super. Lupin the Third Part 4. The Italian Lupin was on there. We got Tokyo Ghoul and Black Clover. And then, of course, one of the movies they showed was Children Who Chase Lost Voices. It's actually a pretty good movie. All right. So then I kind of get to about the last slide right here. 2018 and 2019, we had Bakugan Battle Planet, Kid Toyetic show again. We got Boruto that started airing, and they took that off. My Hero Academia has been going on still. Megalobox, I never got around to watching that. I had Mob Psycho 100. Pop Team Epic. I watched that show. That is something. I did watch it. That was a weird show. Dr. Stone is another one they started putting on last year, actually. Same with Fire Force. That came out. Both of those came out last summer. Food Wars is still ongoing. They started airing Lupin Part 5. Demon Slayer was on, I think last summer or like in the fall of last year. Gundam the Origin, I've still got my DVR recordings and I need to rip that eventually. I never got around to watching SAO, Alicization. I think I DVR'd that too. They brought back season 2 of One Punch Man. The Promised Neverland was something they also started airing at the end of 2019. Big thing was that they brought back Fooly Cooly. They aired one series a few months before the other. I think it was Progressive before Alternative. Mind Game was the movie that they aired on April Fool's in 2018. That was actually an incredibly great movie that I've never even heard or seen of before, and so I was able to record that. And that was the night they actually had like, so they had Tom voice as a Japanese guy, but it's not just any Japanese guy. It's the voice actor for Spike in Cowboy Bebop. So you got Steve Bloom, who does Spike in the American version. So then they brought in the Japanese voice actor for Spike to voice Tom, the Japanese version of Toonami, for just that one night. And I think it was sort of like a joke on, or not really a joke, but people were really serious. Like, why don't you air like, subtitled shows on Toonami and, yada yada. And Zabark was like, no one's going to watch it because we're Americans. Well, he finally gave him a night to do that. And that was 2 years ago. So it's like, you better take, you guys better not be such ungrateful SOBs and take what you can get. So there's still more stuff coming out. I mean, I made this panel last year, but really nothing has really changed much in the past year. If there is a show that did come out that's not listed, then that's obviously a new show that did come out because I hadn't had time to work on this. I was just going to take what I had. And so in terms of upcoming stuff, there's going to be the Uzumaki that's going to be adapted from the manga, and we're supposed to be getting a Blade Runner Black Lotus anime as well. So I'll go ahead and play that Uzumaki promo. I mean, this looks so good, but so trippy. So when I did a total count of everything that I put together, this is a give or take number. It's about as accurate as I can get it. We've had total titles between movies and OVAs and TV shows shown on Cartoon Network since 1995 is 210. So I think that's the most accurate number right now, and that number is going to continue to grow as long as there's a Toonami and Cartoon Network. So that's about my best number there. So anyways, that's my information. I'm Dustin Copeland. You can find, I have a Twitter at AOI Podcasts, Anime Yesteryear Podcast. I do a podcast, obviously, and the website is right there below the Twitter handle. I have an email address in case you guys want to reach out to me. If there's any titles that you're interested in that you'd like to get a copy of in terms of things that I've ripped, that I've shown, clips, like Evangelion, anything like that, let me know. I'll be glad to just send you a Google Drive link to it. We still got 30 minutes left on this panel time. I can go ahead and play some stuff for you guys. I'm looking at the text chat right now. So that's pretty much the end of the panel right there. I'll just go ahead and close out of this. I mean, we're not really done with the panel, but I can show some other stuff too, just to kind of kill time. And just kind of sit here and read some comments. So if you guys have any questions you want to ask me, then you can. If you have a request, if you want me to play something, I can put it on. I'll see what I have.
Wait, so I have a question, because I don't have TV ever since I went to college. But, so is Toonami, like, still going on? Like, that's
Yes, it
still a
is.
part of Cartoon Network?
Yes, it is. It's still on Saturday nights. They've fluctuated through the hours. There was a period where they had it on like 6 hours at night, and then now it's down to about 3 or so. I mean, they extended it out when they had like Dragon Ball Z Kai and Super, like they had it on like the repeats from last week at like 8 p.m. on a Saturday, and then whatever was going to follow up at 11 o'clock or 10:30 or whatever. So like when they had My Hero, like about on like a year ago or so, they had like a big massive block. But now they're kind of skimmed down on the hours, and I'm not sure what sign that might be in terms of they're just losing numbers or popularity, or they don't have the funding right now. So kind of it depends, but I mean the block is still active, and they still got something on there to show. I haven't really watched Toonami since Super ended its run. Dragon Ball Super ended its run back at the end of the 2019, because I just haven't been able to just keep up with constantly recording stuff, and I just feel like there's an endless backlog of things that I need to rip, and I just don't feel like I have time to do it.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. That makes sense, though, because I don't hear people talking about Toonami as much, but having shorter blocks, it does make sense to me, because a lot of people just watch anime on like their computers now, like through Funimation and things like that,
Right.
versus like when Toonami first was out, like seeing anime in America was like such a big deal, because they didn't have like all that resources.
Yeah, the era of cable is dying off, and
Yeah.
streaming is the main thing now, because a lot of people are cutting the cable cord, and I mean if people want to, like, people are really watching Toonami because it's a nostalgia factor. But any series that they have on there has been out for however long on Crunchyroll or Funimation or Daisuke or High Dive or any number of streaming services that are out there, and I really don't use streaming services. If I can watch something off TV, I will. But I'm kind of hypocritical saying that, because here I am recording things and I don't get around to watching them. So but I'll see if there's anything I can play that you guys might find interesting. Let's see. You know what? I think I am going to play some more of that Evangelion and Giant Robot Week. Why not? Give me a second here. If anybody else has any other questions, you're welcome to say something.
a comment. I really enjoyed your panel, and it was really amazing. It unlocked memories that I forgot I had from Toonami, and I'm sure a lot of people really enjoyed it because we were being like super chatty because we just were like hyping about everything that you were showing. So it was really nice to have like just one panel of just everything about the history of. Basically, that's what made our childhoods and made us all the weebs that we are right now.
Absolutely. I would not be here without Toonami and Cartoon Network, and that's a lot of other people. I know there's a lot of older, I mean, I'm getting older, especially myself with older anime fans. So like with them, it was, their introduction is like Star Blazers on like, public access TV or something, or actually before before cable. So it was like certain networks had Star Blazers, and so they showed in the middle of the afternoon. Like in the 80s, you had their like Robotech, and so that was kind of like the that next wave of fandom was Robotech fans that came in, and then eventually like more that cable started becoming available, and then you can put more anime on there. More people started watching it, so you got like other people that are fans from anime from Sci-Fi Channel in the 90s. I really would love to do a panel on like anime that aired on Sci-Fi Channel, but there's just so much, and I'm not that versatile in knowing all the information, or knowing all the information that is everything that's aired on Sci-Fi Channel. I mean, I know about the Anti-Monday block they did back in 2006 to I think it was like 2011, 2006 or 7, because I got a number of things recorded off of that block. Interesting enough that I bring up Star Blazers and Sci-Fi Channel. What killed off the series that was the nail in the coffin for Anti-Monday was Star Blazers, and so they aired back Star Blazers on TV the first time in 20-something years. Who knows? Only to end off like an anime block on the Sci-Fi Channel, and so Sci-Fi hasn't aired anime since then, and I don't know when they're going to do it. So it's kind of like who knows? But they're so corporate based, and so I guess it just doesn't make sense for them. So I'm going to pop on. Let's see if this works.
Also, Dustin, did you see the picture in the Discord panel room chat that just got posted? You'll appreciate it.
Huh. That looks like my VHS collection.
Yeah, I was trying to ask you about your recording. So, are your Adult Swim Toonami things just on VHS tapes too?
Well, a good number of them are. It's only in the past few years that I've been using a DVR the past 4 or so years. So I switched to that to record things directly to my computer. In a way, I actually kind of prefer VHS because, like, you don't have the issue of, say, like your DVR freezing up or anything like that, and you're in the middle of a recording and it gets all glitchy. When it's on tape, it's whatever's coming through the cable wire, and it's usually consistent. I would prefer cable if I can keep it that way and just have it on VHS. But I mean, DVR also works very efficiently. And I have like a DVD recorder, but I got it at a crappy thrift store, and the thing was a piece of crap anyways, and I'm still holding on to it. But I don't know, that's in my storage garage right now, so I'm just like, I don't really need it at this point.
So like every night, would you like put your VHS in and record, and then like all your stuff that you've ripped and stuff?
Well, when I
did you do it when they were airing, right? Like everything.
Yes. So like the stuff I recorded right when it was coming out was I'd pop in and do the self timer thing on my VCR, and I would record it that night. So then I wake up and had to go to school that day. So I come home and I watch whatever I recorded that night, and then especially when it was when I was recording stuff on Monday through Thursday, when Adult Swim was airing anime pretty much those 4 nights in a week. And so I do the same thing. I record it, and then I watch it when I get home the next day, and then just before I go to bed, I pop it in and put it on self-timer and just kind of rinse and repeat over and over to make sure I got everything.
Yeah, same with me. I was 12 years old and I wasn't really allowed to stay up until like they aired the anime at like started the block at like what 10 p.m. usually 11 p.m.
Yeah, 11 or 12 was usually like the start of the block.
Yep.
The newer shows that they had, like Trigun aired at midnight, or shoot.
Yeah, that's a problem with shows that you have to stay up till till almost 3 o'clock in the morning to watch all the whole block. And when you're like a kid, you get in serious trouble doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's like I can't. Like for me, I was just like, man, I cannot.
Yeah, I was like,
I can't do this to myself every night. Like, yeah, I'm young and I could get away with it, but like it can only last so long.
Mm-hmm.
And like I didn't have cable in my room at that time, so I couldn't stay up and watch it or whatever. But I was like, I need to go to sleep and go to school anyways, or I got a test to study for or whatever.
There's one thing it gave everlasting memories of, staying up late or watching stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you my VHS collection because you talk about recording and like, oh my gosh, I recorded like everything from like for like a whole year in a row.
I'm trying to read out everything on the tapes here. I know you got a number of Bleach episodes or tapes.
What do I have?
So you got Blood Plus.
Bleach, Blood Plus, Inuyasha, Full Blood Alchemist.
Okay. I got a tub of stuff in my closet, and I'm just kind of because I'm going to be quarantined for another week or so because I tested negatively for COVID, but my brother has it, and we're right next to each other. So like I know I have it, and I think my test was a false negative. But I'm better. I'm getting better now. But what I've been doing all week is basically just popping in a tape in the morning, and then just hitting record, and then just kind of lounging around and waiting for the tape to end. Because then I got time where I'm really not doing much during the week, so I can kind of just sit there and kind of get some of the stuff knocked out. Otherwise, I've been doing it on the weekends for a while, or kind of doing whatever I feel like it. And I know archive.org is a lot of people are ripping their tapes and putting it on there, and so that's getting passed around. I've met a number of people that have been uploading a lot of stuff through archive.org of their Toonami recordings or Adult Swimmer recordings, and even other stuff that had like anime, like Tech TV and G4 also aired anime as well. I don't know exactly how like the total amount of anime that they had. That's something else I'd like to do more research on what they had. Same with like Encore Action, like the satellite network. That's how I saw like Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 from some friends of mine in high school because he recorded everything off the Stars Network when they had cable or when they had satellite. So he had everything on tape, and he had like Dirty Pair Flash, and that was kind of one of those things I wish I made copies of it at the time. But anyways. Well, at least I know that's like one of the series that was on there. And then I had a friend record Grappler Baki for me off of Stars Encore like around Christmas time one year. So, yeah. But anyways, let me get Evangelion here real quick. Oh, come on. Come on, hard drive. Give it a minute.